Good morning, Americans! This is your favorite alien here on the morning of Sunday, July 16th, 2023. Well, here back in 1969, Apollo 11 was launched today back in 1969. And I'm sitting in for Paul Harvey. Stand by for the rest of the story. Well, today's story concerns Sylvester. Not the cat, just Sylvester. Sylvester was a unique person. He lived life on his own terms. About 200 years ago. And, wow. You could say he was a little bit out of time in that respect, because he really belonged in the 21st century, not the 19th. But anyway, he was unlucky and was born in the 19th, poor guy. And when he was growing up, he became kind of a model for today's people. He, in his late teens and early 20s, founded what today you call the temperance movement. And he had very strict rules on how to behave, how to eat, what not to do, basically. And no, he was not an extremist. Like you extremist Republicans and Democrats. No, he was just himself. And today you see a lot of his people around today. You see promotions that he promoted today. Nutrisystem is doing the same thing big time. He promoted healthy foods, as he called them. He hated alcohol and tobacco. He said those were dangerous for you. Red meat he didn't like. So he was a vegan when vegan wasn't exactly popular 200 years ago. So for you vegans, you owe Sylvester a lot because he promoted your way of thinking. He promoted a lot of things. Good regiment for keeping yourself fit. Other words, with your jumping jacks and everything that you got today and all the other rhythms that you got today to get yourself fit, running and all the good stuff, where he promoted that kind of stuff. He didn't invent it, he promoted it. And he adhered to one type of bread, brown bread, homemade brown bread, with special yeast that he used to use. And the way you made it, it wasn't like your typical bread. He called it bread, okay? And it was tasted okay. Wasn't tasting like bread is today. If you taste white bread or even taste brown bread or French bread, his bread was a little different. And like I said, he was a temperance guy, so he was anti-drinking, anti-smoking, basically anything that you do there. Red meat he didn't like. He would prefer you to be kind of a vegan person, as you call them in the 21st century. He was the original vegan, more or less, there. And he would make people with his regiments, and everybody called him Dr. Sylvester. He was never a doctor. But it's funny because all his regiments turned out to be right. And every one of them is what doctors prescribe today, and what you see gyms and other nutritionists and other health-conscious people pursuing, including you vegans. There. But he was never a doctor. And everybody forgot about him. Even today, you don't know everything that you do came from Sylvester, but you did. And his brown bread. Everybody didn't like it at the time. But still, it's the only thing of Sylvester's that survived, and that's why you remember him. For you see, here's the rest of the story, Americans. The one thing that survived from Sylvester Graham, not a doctor, but just a crazy guy with his own ideas, is the graham cracker that bears his name, graham cracker. That's what he used to promote in the early to mid 19th century. So that's the only thing that bears his name, Sylvester Graham, the graham cracker. Sitting in for Paul Harvey, this is your favorite alien, and now you know the rest of the story. Good day.